And here we go again. So, welcome back, man. We've had an emotional day for me today.
Yeah, it's been a big day for you. Big day for everybody.
We're going to get into why I'm so upset this morning. But before we do, why don't we jump into some of the gossip for this week?
Yep.
I got a couple of good ones. So we've got another debunking for the week, which
Dude,
is...
I'm loving the debunking.
Right, look, listen. If people are going to send me gossip, I'm going to fact check it first.
We need
okay?
fact checking the fact checkers.
Well, this week's debunking is Brennan Johnson from Tottenham.
Yes.
So it's been going around the internet that he's been dating Lily Phillips. Now, Lily Phillips is the OnlyFans model that's renowned for dating 100 men. Not dating,
I
I
was
should
going
say.
to say dating? That's a nice word of putting it.
It's a PG way to say it.
She was pouring herself out to 100 men.
Thanks for correcting me, man. But look, here's Lily Phillips. Came out by Football Hub. So the Tottenham player, Brennan Johnson's, and OnlyFans model Lily Phillips are reportedly dating. So I decided to kind of go through this because I thought, Brennan Johnson, does he really stoop that low?
Exactly.
He looks like a nice boy, Welsh boy.
You wouldn't expect a celebrity of any status to be dating somebody that pulls this nonsense.
So, look, I went to the Tribuna and they had a bit of the debunking because it turns out that he actually currently has a girlfriend who's Tilda Celia Sire. She's an English model. And look, I think he's doing a lot better than Lily Phillips.
Look,
to be fair.
Massive massive upgrade from Lily Phillips.
Beautiful girl.
Well, for one, she's not sleeping with 101 men that we know of.
Correct. That was in one day, right?
That was in one day, exactly.
So that's just, maybe she hasn't even got 100 ever. Yeah. I would assume not. So, look, it turns out that Brennan Johnson actually proposed to her in November of 2024. Oh my God. So she's come out to debunk it and essentially say, nah, we're pretty cool. Yeah, we're getting married.
We're good here.
Yeah.
I want to know how they come up with this Lily Phillips. Like, did they just pull Brennan Johnson's name out of a hat?
Dude, what I find is that someone just tweets it out and everyone runs with it.
Yes.
And because everyone's running with it, everyone else just keeps running with it. And
Ridiculous.
it just becomes a thing. Everyone starts sending it around. I got it sent to me on Facebook, Instagram, and in WhatsApp. So, there's kind of a lot of people that are jumping on board
everyone
for
was
it.
all over it.
But look, I jumped on it. But him and his girlfriend, Tilde, have been dating for 2 years, now proposed in November of 24. And they seem happy.
So you've done the Lord's work.
Yeah.
You've spread the good word.
I can't be having Lily Phillips get away with this, man.
No, she shouldn't be getting away with anything with her debauchery.
So look, that's the first one. Debunked. Any more that you got, send them through. I'll debunk them again.
James needs a challenge.
Yeah, I want something to really stump me. I want some
deep
evidence.
I want deep diving. We want to deep dive into some investigations.
But then we've got. And this next kind of gossip is really going to come as a shock to you. So Olivier Giroud, your old boy,
former
from Chelsea,
Champions League striker. Yep,
he's got trophies under his belt.
Hey, World Cups,
wasn't he the most handsome man in football?
I could
at
say
one
that.
point.
Definitely,
he's a good-looking lad.
He's a good-looking guy. You know what I mean?
But he made the papers this week because his house. He's now playing over in LA, of course.
Correct. Yep.
And his house was burgled, and the burglars got away with $500,000 worth of jewelry and approximately 10 watches. Right? I'm like, so it's upwards of $500K yet to be valued. So apparently on the 5th of February, Olivier's wife returned home and found broken windows in their home. Instantly called the LAPD. They came in, found that obviously somebody had broken in and so on. Shock and horror.
I know.
Another celebrity / athlete in LA gets their house burgled.
I know. Shocking. I'm shocked.
It's happening so often now that it's kind of funny because these players come there and obviously they're not all that concerned because they've got insurance and those type of things, but still, it's not a good sale for the city, right?
No, especially LA. Like, there's so much garbage that goes on there. Like, he could have been on Skid Row or, Hollywood Shipyard, whatever they call it. Like, he could have been anywhere, and it just happens all over LA.
Well, that's why I'm saying, come play in Australia.
Yeah, come to Australia.
Come to Australia. We won't burgle you.
No. And you'll be treated like a king.
To be fair, if they do, we'll probably catch them.
Oh, we'll do a way better job than LAPD.
But look, sad for Olivier. Let's hope.
But like you said, they've got insurance. He'll be fine.
That's what I mean. He'll get his stuff
He'll
back.
get his stuff back. He'll get the money back for it, whatever.
At some point, they'll find the watch being sold somewhere dodgy.
Yeah, exactly.
And there'll be another story. I'll bring it up again in the gossip.
No debunkings on this one.
Yeah. Yo, imagine I do debunk it, and actually
Olivier Giroud did. It was an inside job.
He's got a gambling problem. he's been selling off his stuff.
Look,
he broke into his own house.
If it's Olivier Giroud, I'm going to probably go with he has a second family.
Yeah, that sounds very plausible. The French, dude.
Dude, he's a horny French guy. Did he get busted for having sex with prostitutes in hotels when he was at Arsenal?
Yeah, I think busted's a strong word there.
Not busted. He got
found out, maybe.
Oh, look, he got scoped. Like
scoped.
Like if you're going to do something like that, he did the right thing, right? He went to a hotel.
It's better than what Kyle Walker's doing, to be fair.
Exactly right. You know what I mean? Like,
You know?
He did the right. In the scheme of things, he did the right thing. That's in inverted commas. He did the right thing. He took him to a hotel. He did it privately. You know what I mean? Like, not like Kyle Walker or Jack Grealish.
getting caught on a ring doorbell.
On the nanny bell. You fucking idiot. Oh.
It's fucking awesome.
We'll get into Kyle Walker later, though. But what else we got?
Some kind of less fun gossip that we have this week, and it comes from the La Liga. So
again, there's a lot of La Liga shit. You've had a lot of La Liga shit go on lately.
I mean, they're dodgy ass. They're dodgy ass. There's no other way to put it. They're dodgy ass. Because the referee who sent off Jude Bellingham,
yes,
a couple of weeks ago, right? So I'm going to butcher this guy's name. So he's referee Munanera. So he was responsible for giving Jude Bellingham a red card in a Liga game against Osasuna, where, to be fair, he swore, right? And whether or not it was at him or not, that was a thing. We've now seen that the 15 games is being downgraded to 2.
A massive downgrade.
Which is a huge downgrade.
I think that was due to, so much backlash. We're going to leave La Liga.
It's insane. What an insane reaction.
Out of control,
It's an insane reaction, right? I'm going to leave the La Liga.
Yeah. We're going to take Real Madrid. We're just going to go somewhere else. You can't do that.
But look, it's actually getting worse for this referee. One, he's been stood down from all games this weekend.
Is that because of
the investigation? No.
Because of this investigation you're about to bring up?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So the RFEF, which is their refs association, just like the PGMOL.
Yep.
They've now launched an investigation to whether Munera's extra sporting activities are incompatible with 9.1 of the regulatory code, right? Yep. Don't know what that is, but essentially it arises when the persons bound by this rule, among who are the referees, they have a secondary interest that may interfere with the fulfillment of their professional obligations.
So doing stuff that will interfere with the game.
So essentially he has another interest in football that may sway his decisions in the game, right? The same thing how Michael Oliver is from Newcastle. He's a Newcastle fan. He cannot referee Newcastle games.
Yeah.
Right? This one goes a little bit further. That Munera, he's a founding partner of Talentus Sport, which is a company which deals with the consultancy and sports management. Mm-hmm. So there's concerns regarding the potential conflict of interest, and there's alarm bells set ringing that this could have swayed decisions that he has made.
Okay. I have a couple questions about this.
Please.
1, how long has he been reffing for? And 2, they must have known that this guy owned this sort of company and allowed him to continue on until Real Madrid got the shits.
Correct.
Yeah, and they've
and
gone...
also, you know what's happened, right? Is that Real Madrid didn't like the decision. They wanted to sway the decision in their way.
Yep.
So they definitely got like an investigator, like a private investigator or something, to go after this guy, figure out how they can screw him, and then they've proceeded to do it. Because this is on the back of them saying that there's corruption with the referees.
Which is crazy coming from Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Bro, Barcelona have gone ham for years that there's something going on in favour of Real Madrid. Well, now Real Madrid are coming out after one red card and going, corruption in the league.
Well, because it was even before that, right? They were saying that they wanted the English referees to come over and go, was it Fabio Perez?
Yeah, it was Perez, yeah.
Perez. So it's not Fabio?
Not Fabio, no. It's Fiorentine.
Fiorentine Perez.
Yeah.
He's come out and said, oh, no.
Your mate Fabio.
Yeah.
We got nicknames for each other.
So hot right
Jimmy
now.
and Fabio, you know.
So they've come out and for the last month maybe have been saying they want the English referees to come over because they want to curb the corruption within the La Liga and the referees. It's
crazy,
insane.
bro. It's crazy, bro. They want to pick their referees so then they could do their own little corruption. We all know what's going on here. We can clearly see it.
Yeah.
Because
or they're sitting there going,
so big.
So you're telling me that the Saudis bought out the English referees, eh? So all we have to do is send them to Saudi for a season.
That's it.
Or give them a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So, look, I obviously think this is just a kind of a big psyop from the Real Madrid board.
Yep.
But, you know, it just seems ridiculous that they're going after this guy so hard for one red card.
I reckon... Well, because the red card was so severe, they thought Jude Bellingham said "fuck you" instead of "fuck off." Now, I don't know what the difference is. Like, if I say "fuck you" or I tell you to "fuck off," I guess like the "fuck you" is a little bit more.
I think they were trying to say that he did the "fuck off" that.
Like "fuck off." Yeah,
you're still doing it in response to the decision he'd made, right?
I'm sure there's been worse things said to a ref. I'm sure there is, but it was the whole "fuck you, fuck off," and then the 12-game ban, which was allegedly going to happen. I feel like Real Madrid knew this guy's past. They knew what he had.
Surely,
you know what I mean. And
surely,
then they were just
not
waiting.
a secret, right?
No,
the guy's not there like a secret board member. Trying to get it done.
So I reckon they held on to this. Waiting until something goes against it and they go, well, fuck him, we're just gonna out him.
Use him as the ref in case something goes wrong.
Yeah. I would just want to know how it's so specifically targeting Real Madrid, though. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I mean. How does he motivate this company? Okay, well, you know what? Because he owns this company, he red carded Jude. He's a bastard. But look, we'll keep following it because I'm interested to see what happens with this guy. Yeah. Because, you know, if he does end up getting screwed by...
Or referees another Real Madrid game. I want to see that.
Oh, surely not. There's no way.
There's no way. Fabio, your mate Fabio will allow that.
But before we jump into some of the games... this is a bit of a concerning one. So it comes out of the championship. Now, there's racism claims. So it was a game between Preston and Burnley.
In the championship, yeah.
In the championship, yeah, correct. So two players get into a little bit of a tussle for a tackle. Mm-hmm. One player, I'm going to butcher this guy's name too. It's Mulitin Usmajic.
Majic, probably silent J.
Yeah, probably. You know, it's Balkan for sure.
I'll have a look right now. So where it's from.
And then you've got the Burnley player Hannibal Mejbri, which is actually a Man U youth player.
Ex-Man U.
We'd seen him play a couple times.
So he's from Morocco.
He's from Morocco. Usmajic.
What the hell's that? MNE. Where is that?
Where is that?
I have no idea. I'll find it, but let's continue.
But so. During the game, Hannibal...
It's Montenegro.
Oh, he's from Montenegro. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. We suck at geography.
Yeah, it's not great. So during the game, there's a tackle going on by the sideline. Hannibal goes in, Osmajic makes a tackle, and then gets close to Hannibal and says something kind of to the back of his head.
Yes.
Right? Instantly, Hannibal comes running over to the referee to say that there was racist remarks made. This has obviously sparked a massive feud within the game.
Yeah.
Because they've then carried on. They've gone over to the interim manager for Preston and said that he should be subbed. In which the Preston managers laughed it off and said no. They've left him on for the entire game. Now, after the game, there's a consultation that had to happen with the referees.
Correct.
So Osmajic has gone in after the game to kind of make his case. Apparently completely in tears after the game.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, he has, you know, black players and foreign players in his team. He wouldn't do that. He has friends like this. I mean, you know, it's like, I got a black friend. Yeah, you know, like that's kind of what it sounds like, right? Yeah. But just want to remind you, so Osmajic is a player who received an 8-match ban earlier in the season for biting a Blackburn player, Owen Beck.
Oh, as you said black, I thought I'm so glad you finished Burn after that.
Yeah, well, Owen Beck doesn't sound, you know. Because, God. So look, I don't know who to believe in this. And it's been a couple of days and still hasn't released what has been said.
It happened 5 days ago. And it's still, or 4 or 5 days ago. Yeah. There's still been no update. Now, I did see just then, because I was trying to see if there was an update. 2 days ago, the FA was still looking into it. 2 days ago, the FA started the investigation into it. Still nothing yet. So we still got to, we'll follow up on this one.
But yeah, it's a confusing one because when you see a player react how Hannibal reacted in the game, he's come instantly running over to say that something is said. So I can only imagine he said something highly unfavourable.
Or, which has happened before. I remember there was a game where you guys played Everton and Firmino got pushed. Remember, he got pushed over the sideline, into the crowd. He rushed out and he said something which the Everton player thought was racist, but he was talking in his native tongue.
Yeah.
Right? So, I don't know, maybe there's a miscommunication because of the accent or because of
Suarez. It's happened to Suarez before. I think
that one actually happened, though.
He was probably being racist.
That one was totally racist.
Yeah.
The Firmino one, he said something in Portuguese, and it was a young English player, and he didn't understand. He thought he was talking about the colour of his skin, which he wasn't. They found out he was not guilty. So maybe it might be a language barrier. Maybe it might be miscommunication. But look, once we find out what's going on...
Well, I just want to know what he said.
So do I.
And because the funny thing is, normally you can get like like a lip reader or something will jump in and just be like, oh, okay, this is what he said. But his head's behind Hannibal, so you can't see his lips.
And it's like championship as well, so it probably doesn't have
all the angles or the drone over the top. Like, it doesn't have all of that. So... whether or not we'll get something, I don't know. But look, we'll follow it up and see what happens because it's an interesting one because obviously they're so hard on the whole racism part.
Correct.
With football at the moment.
Yep.
It's concerning if he was racist because it seemed like a nothing tackle, no reason to really say anything for it. So I don't know what happened during the game, but we'll follow it up. We'll see what happens.
Something will come of this. Has to.
Oh, yeah, normally. It won't just get swept under.
Correct,
I'm sure someone will make some noise about it.
Correct, yeah.
But look, why don't we jump into Matchday 25?
Yeah,
there was some interesting results.
Yeah, let's go with interesting.
Yeah.
But look, start off, I got 6 this week.
I got 5. So we can bring up our totals, actually. Why don't we check out our tipping totals before we jump into the games?
Let's do that.
But so this week we're coming up 1 point apart. So I'm on 122. T's on 121.
Yep.
Going into match day 26, 6 and 5. So you've caught up. I had a great run from the start.
Yes.
Really killing it. And the back half's really hurt me. I've had a few drastically bad results.
Yeah.
So look, 121 to 122. We've got, 12 rounds left?
13 rounds left.
We've got 13 rounds left.
13 rounds left, yeah.
Let's see where we end up.
Yeah. So, first game, Chelsea-Brighton. Obviously wasn't a good. Do you want to start with the Chelsea game? Let's start with it. Let's get it out of the way.
Let's just run through them.
Let's get it out of the way.
Run through them.
So, look, Chelsea-Brighton. Chelsea. I picked Chelsea in this game, obviously. And, look, they did not play well.
No.
Really did not play well. Now, look, I think the result was probably a little bit in favour to Brighton. I think we did have a couple of good chances, but since Christmas, we have played terrible. And I'm not putting on Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer's doing everything he can.
Well, I mean, we bring up that stat again, right? He has created the most chances out of any player in world football, and he has 0 assists.
Crazy, bro.
So
crazy.
I mean, when I look at my FPL team, I'm like, do I take Cole Palmer out?
It's starting to get to that stage.
I think it is because he's quite expensive, and I think he's going to start losing value because people will start taking him out for the back half of the season because I don't see you guys picking up form.
Well, when the worst part is that we're also getting injuries, so Cole Palmer's going to have to play more games, and if he's losing like Jackson, Madueke, and whoever, it's going to cause him...
the link he had with Jackson was a good one as well.
It was a good one,
right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people take shots at Jackson that he's not, the striker he should be, blah, blah, blah. But he does link well with Cole Palmer.
They did link well. They had a good... I remember there was a period there where it was just them two scoring and assisting for each other. Jackson's out until April, so Nkuku's got to do that, but Nkuku always drops down next to Cole Palmer.
He likes playing as like a 9.
He's a number 10.
Yeah.
Like, number 10 is where Cole Palmer plays. Unfortunately, in Nkuku, that's not your spot anymore. You've got to play up front. But he always seems to drop in to try to link up. But he's right next to Cole Palmer every time. And it just destroys what we're trying to do. So.
Well, you've got to ruin the kind of any link-up play. But I will, look, this Brighton-Chelsea game, I'll say Matoma's goal, that touch is insane, dude. Beautiful. Everyone was saying 95 million for him for Saudi is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. You see him do that and you think...
And then you remember, you're like... That's the type of player he could be.
Yeah.
He was probably more consistent 2 years ago, but he's still a quality player. That touch, long ball, brings it down first time, cuts Chalobah and hits it in the bottom corner. There's nothing that Chalobah could do, and there's nothing that Jorgensen could have done about that.
Yeah, no, look, I thought I thought it was probably one of the best touches that I've seen all season.
It's
to
up
be
there.
fair,
Yeah.
because he just not only destroyed the defender. Because one, what defender thinks he's going to make that touch?
Correct. Exactly right.
One question I do want to ask you: where do you stand on the push? The Enzo's disallowed goal from the push.
Wasn't a push. Now I know that you're going to bring up the Kanate one, right?
Ulterior motives.
Yeah. But this is where I think the difference was.
The defender went down.
Correct. The defender took a dive, and the ref fell for it. But also,
and
the
this
VAR.
this is the argument as well that a lot of the other kind of pundits that you have on Optus and stuff like that bring up, and they go, "Will you tell players to not dive and not make a meal of the challenge?"
Yeah.
But then they don't get a foul.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
so the question is, if Kanate threw himself to the ground from that push, do they disallow that goal then?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the inconsistency with it. That they don't want players to dive and fall to the ground, but if they don't get the foul. So, you know.
And then from that, look, I thought that was a goal. It would put us back to 1-1, right? And then literally like...
It's a game changer, dude.
Literally 5 minutes later, Minte scores.
Yep.
Now, I also have doubts about that goal because I think Danny Welbeck was offside. This is where the new VAR would be great.
We need the semi-auto, yeah.
Straight away.
I completely agree.
Because they're saying that he's behind the ball, but you can't see the ball because he's behind 2 Chelsea players. So I don't know where they're coming up with this. I think Welbeck was offside. He gets involved in the play. He sets up Minte, right? So that's like a proper sliding doors moment. We should have got a goal, and instead Brighton get the goal.
It always happens that way,
and that
too.
just totally changed the game from there because we were down 2-0 instead of being 1-1. So and from there we're chasing, and to be fair, we're not the best chasing team.
No, I think that's the age of your team, right?
There's no leadership to kind of be like, guys, let's like pick it up.
Yeah.
You know, we can come back from this. And and a lot of teams tend to just sit back and just hold out and wait for us, which is fine because if you're winning, you do what you want. You know what I mean? So we struggle to break down teams. We need to be in front. And then they scored their third. Minte gets his second.
I hate that I took him out of my fantasy league team.
Oh, dude, that would hurt. Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, this guy's going to score goals. I could see he was going to score. I just put him in at the wrong time.
His shot was nice, but look, again, fucking Cucurella gets ripped. Enzo gets ripped. It was a good goal, scores from a tight angle. But once again, Colwill, he's running out from defense with the ball, loses it and dives like he deserves a foul. Bro, stop running out with the ball, and then when you lose it, go for a dive. Just get up. Because what happens is, he runs through his area. If he had gotten up and got back to position, he might have changed it. But
100%.
no, again, that's the age, that's the inexperience, that's just the childishness of the team. And when you don't have that leader, like when we had Thiago Silva or John Terry or Carvalho or Gary Cahill, they knew you had to fucking do your job. Bro, the centre-backs are weak. Like, Chalobah is good, not a leader. Colwill, future prospect, not a leader. We ain't got that leader in our team. And you can
Cole
just see
Palmer's
it.
kind of your leader, but again, he's not a leader.
He's 21.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in that position.
Correct,
It's
yeah.
too much for him to do. Let him do his thing.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Let him do his thing.
The disappointing part for me was that Chelsea had 0 shots on target all game.
Really?
0 shots on target all game. First time in a long time that we've had 0 shots on target in a game.
That's concerning.
Correct. You know what I mean? That's where like
And this is what I can't figure out, right? You've got so many different attackers, and to be fair, getting rid of João Felix is probably the wrong move.
I still have a conspiracy about that. I still think that the only reason why they brought in João Felix is because they were so adamant of getting rid of Conor Gallagher. They wanted this young striker.
I still don't think you should have got rid of him either.
No, I don't either.
No.
Look, okay. I think for the money that we were getting offered, I think it was a good move. But if it wasn't going to work because of the guy that you wanted, so they wanted this young striker from Atletico, right, for like 40 mil. He didn't want to go because of the image rights. There was like something wrong, and he goes, I don't want to go anymore. So he stayed, and he got sold to Porto or something. So to make the deal happen, we brought in João Felix. I don't think that they wanted João Felix at any stage. I think they just took it just to get rid of Conor Gallagher, and now they're like, oh, we got João Felix, who was playing well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but again, he does play the same position in Cuckoo plays, Cole Palmer plays,
We've got a
and
bunch of
João
number 10s, you know what I mean?
It's insane, and you tried to shift him out wide, He doesn't want to sit there.
Correct.
And I mean, look, Joao Felix, he goes into these teams and goes, I can't wait to play for these teams. He gets moved on in 6 months.
I can't wait to play for Atletico. I can't wait to play for Chelsea. I can't wait to play for AC Milan. Bro, what team do you not look forward to playing with?
Yeah. I wait for the one that he goes, God, I don't want to play. He's going to stay for ages.
And you'll love it. But yeah, I got that one wrong.
Yeah, look, so did I. Yeah. I had Chelsea. To be fair, I mean, the writing was on the wall, right?
Correct. I think it is starting to become very adamant that, like, even though we've had a nice run, we haven't got those results. I think we've won 2 in the last 9, which is... And when you're fighting for that top 4 spot, bro, you need to fucking get those wins.
Yeah. And I think a lot of those teams are kind of, I mean, struggling with results. I mean, we'll see when we get to the Man City game, right?
Yeah.
But why don't we jump into the Leicester-Arsenal game?
Yeah, look, I had Arsenal in that one.
I had Arsenal in this one too. And to be fair, they got lucky, dude.
Yeah, look, the first half, not much to talk about.
Almost zero to talk about, to be fair.
Nothing.
I don't think they created chances.
It was half chances.
You know, like they barely created anything. And again, you look at like the likes of Odegaard and Declan Rice, who are good players, but unfortunately, like they need to step up. They've obviously got a lot of injuries in their attack.
In the attack, yeah.
They've got a lot of injuries.
So they started with Trossard, Nwaneri, and Sterling. Like Sterling is now getting starts. That's how depleted they are. Their front 3 is gone. Martinelli, Saka, and Havertz. Now Havertz is out for the season.
Sterling needs to go to West Ham, man. It's so clear. He needs to go to like a West Ham or
he needs to go play for Man U, so that way he could play in the 5 and then finish his career at Tottenham. Yeah, he'll play for every top 6 team. That would just be I'll tip his cap to that one.
Yeah.
Get into the second half, and look, Nwaneri was the most dangerous player.
Yep.
Hits the post.
A 17-year-old, by the way.
Yeah, 17, and it's crazy. He's the most dangerous player now. Nwaneri hits the post, and then he's crossed for Marino. Marino comes in for Trossard, scores a double.
Yeah, and he's never played striker. Even in his younger years, he said he never played striker before. They go to him, you're playing in striker, and he goes, okay.
He has been a real Mr. Fix-It man.
Hey, dude, he's the James Milner for them.
Pretty much,
right? He can just play any position.
Yep.
He's a utility player, and he's happy just to play anywhere. And I think it's just that, look, he puts a lot of effort in. He runs.
He does, yes.
He runs. He puts in effort. He tries to get on the ball as much as possible.
Every time he gets on the pitch, you could see he puts in max effort. Now, sometimes he might get 60 minutes. Sometimes he might get 10 minutes. In this game, he got 10 minutes. He scored 2 goals.
Yeah, and lucky he did, because to be fair, they looked down and out at that stage. I didn't think they were going to get the goal. I thought it was going to be a 0 or draw.
Yeah, I thought Leicester were going to do their job, like do the goal they set out and hold them out for 90 minutes. But Marino come on. I don't think anyone was expecting Marino to play up front. And they're just going, what's this little fucker doing? And bang, scores.
I mean, look, it worked out. I don't know if we would say it's an Arteta masterclass, but it was something. It was something.
We'll put it on the set piece, coach.
Yeah, put another mural up, guys.
Next game.
West Ham and Brentford.
West Ham and Brentford. Well, I had Brentford in this one.
I had a draw.
Yeah, draw?
I had a draw. Yeah. I mean, look, good pick on Brentford.
It was... Look...
And to be fair, it could have been a draw in this game.
100%.
Because that goal, the Shard scores.
The Shard one, yeah.
But...
It was over the line by about this much.
Don't you feel bad for Ariola?
He made double save.
And then it just goes over. And technically punches out the third one as well. He's just too far in the goal.
Yeah.
If he was just like a scooch forward, he saves that.
Yeah.
He saves it.
He did very well to make those saves. But unfortunately for West Ham, goes in. But that was in the 4th minute, so it's not like West Ham...
Oh, they had plenty of time to correct the game.
So much time. And to be fair...
Brentford had 2 goals disallowed, didn't they?
Wissa had 1 offside.
That's not his fault. He couldn't see. He was blinded by acid, man.
I think was 1 offside or both offside? I think
there was 2 offside.
Yeah,
there was 2 offside denied goals from him, yeah.
But there was one where if Damsgaard had actually got his foot on instead of Wissa, it would have been a goal.
Yeah.
But Damsgaard missed it. It went to Wissa. He scores, and they're like, oh, he's offside.
Yeah.
Shard then hit the post in the 30th minute. So Brentford dominated that first half.
Brentford definitely won the first half, clearly, right? They were much better. I think West Ham started to get back into it in the second half.
In the 49th minute, Kudus missed the one from 6 yards out.
Bro, that's a miss. That's one of the top misses of the season, other than when we get into the Liverpool game versus Villa this morning.
We will get into that, yep. But this one was bad. 6 yards out, right in the middle of the goal, and just blast it over the bar. I'm like, bro. And Curtis is a good player too.
You know, he's a very strong dribbler.
Yeah.
I think gets on the ball. His finishing is lackluster, which obviously we've seen.
Right here.
Yeah, we've seen it. It's a lackluster finishing from him. But, look, if he can improve that, he's probably one of the most dangerous players in the league.
Yeah.
It's the same with Adama Traore as well, right?
Yeah.
He's the same, right? He's super
They're
dangerous
strong,
running.
they're strong, they're
but
quick.
they can't finish. And I think
Correct,
it's because they're so quick, right? That they're getting on the ball so quick to adjust their feet or something. It must be difficult because, you know, oh, no, I'm not that quick anymore.
Anymore.
I used to be quick. Shut up.
That was pretty much the whole Brentford game. And look, Brentford walk away with a 3 points. So good 3 points for them.
Good 3 points. They're the 3 points you need to get in the Premier
Correct,
League, right?
yep,
You need to
correct.
just hold out for some of them.
Yep.
Well, then we had the Southampton Bournemouth.
Look, I had Bournemouth in that one.
I also had
I think
Bournemouth
that
in this
one was
one.
pretty simple.
I think the man of the match in this one's Christie.
Christie, yeah. Christie
he
had a game,
killed
bro.
it. He killed it.
Yeah.
You know, with the assist on the first one, which is a beautiful cross.
Yeah. Good
And
finish
then-
by Atora.
Yeah.
He's actually picking up his game, Atora. He scored a few goals
He
now.
might be a good benchy, right?
Well-
for fantasy.
I was looking at putting him in for this week, and you know who he's not a striker, he's a midfielder. But because Evan Nielsen is out, he's playing striker.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so he's
that
actually a
might be
midfielder.
might be a good shout if you want to replace Cole Palmer.
Correct, yeah.
You know,
and you'll
because-
save heaps of money too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Distributed elsewhere.
Yeah. And then Christie with the goal 2 minutes later. Woo!
Great
outside the box, fucking cracked it.
Beautiful
Straight
goal.
as an arrow.
Yeah.
Bottom corner. Not stopping
Beautiful
that.
goal.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Christie's another one that I think everyone sleeps on. I don't think people give him the respect, but he's involved in a lot of the plays with Bournemouth.
It's very team based. Like, you know, you've got Evan Nielsen who was doing it. You've got Semenyo. You've got Christie. The Bournemouth team play very well, and they've also got I think they've got the most set piece goals in the Premier League this year as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's why they're pushing for top 6,
Yeah,
possibly
no.
top 4.
100%.
Yeah.
Right? They're in the chatter for that.
Yeah.
Then we had Tavernier, who's obviously like a veteran for that club.
Yep.
Get the third goal.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
there was that Sulemana goal before
Sulemana
that.
from-
Now, Southampton pushed. Now, I will give Southampton credit where credit's due. They don't stop. They push. Doesn't matter how far behind
And I
they
think
are.
they've really picked up the back half of this season. And I think
After the change of coach.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Because they've stopped playing out of the back.
Oh, my God.
And gifting teams goals. Because we haven't spoke about it in weeks that
Well-
they've gifted teams goals out of the back.
These 3 were not gifts.
No.
None of them were
They
gifts.
worked for them.
Yeah, Bournemouth had to work hard for these goals. Which
I mean,
is,
look, Southampton's clearly not at the Premier League level
No.
to compete or even finish mid-table. But at
well, they're
least...
getting relegated.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost determined already. But, you know... I think at least if they had played this way for the whole season, you would be having a different conversation about where
Correct,
Southampton
yeah.
may end up. You'd be probably looking at the likes of Ipswich below them or something.
They'd
like
be.
that.
I think if they played this way from the start of the season, they'd be pushing more towards in relegation, but
fighting.
They're
not fighting at the moment.
totally out of it. They're about 6 or 8 points behind 19th. So
Yeah.
yeah. I think the writing's on the wall for them. But we predicted this at the start of the season.
Yes, and then we have Villa and Ipswich.
Yeah. So I had Villa in this one.
I
And-
also had Villa in this
and
one.
I was not expecting this result. Like 1-1 draw.
Well, considering that there was a red card from the 40th minute?
40th minute. So Twan Zebe, ex-Villa player, gets 2 yellows.
And
Second one was really dumb.
He just grabs Rodgers by the shoulder
And just yanks him down. And like he's running, I get it, he's running on goal, but there's 2 defenders there. Like you don't need to do that, especially on a yellow.
Yeah,
and then look what happened. But
Correct.
to Ipswich's credit, stuck in the game, took out to the half. So it was 0-0. And look, Rodgers had a good chance in the first half, saved by the keeper. But then second half comes out and Delap, good cross by Hutchinson, and Delap puts it away.
Well, I mean, look, Delap's proving to be one of the kind of best young strikers that are coming through.
Yeah.
I think everyone was giving Evan Ferguson those props. To be fair,
When he first started, yeah.
when he was at Brighton.
Yep.
I mean, West Ham was probably a bad move, but you know,
At least he'll be playing.
yeah, to be fair, okay. But no, I think Delap's really showing that he has the quality to stay in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I think if Ipswich do get relegated, someone picks him up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think
Even one of the
Ipswich-
teams coming up.
I think
would be a good buy.
I think he'll be too good for championship. He needs to stay in the Premier League.
Oh, he'd be like a 30 goal championship player.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
kill it. He'd probably get like close to 35, 40 because they play those extra games.
Correct.
Yeah. And then, so they go up 1-0, 56th minute. But then Rashford free kick outside the box, hits the post, straight to Watkins. Great
tap
free
in.
kick. That's what Rashford is capable of.
Yeah,
But
I think the move to Villa is going to be good for him, right?
So do I.
Because he needs the game time. He needs a bit of freedom to play. I think Slot came out before the Liverpool Villa game and said the same thing. He's a capable player. He's tall. He has
quick.
he has the footballer's physique, and he's quick. And he can turn, right? So he can take the ball and go from 0 to 100 straight away.
Yep.
So those are type of players, especially for fullbacks, especially now how the fullbacks are, they're committing so high up the pitch, can be dangerous on the counter. I think if he puts his head into the game, right, because I think that's his problem, his attitude and the way that he kind of
being at Man
conducts
U
himself.
as well was massive problem. It was so toxic there.
We've seen it with Anthony, right?
Yeah.
He's
4 games, 3 goals, 1 assist.
Yeah, pretty much one of the worst players the Premier League's ever seen. Goes over to, where's he at? Betis?
Real Betis,
Real Betis. Goes over to Real Betis, and he's had, 2 man of the match performances, 3 goals.
1 assist.
In 4 games.
Gangster stats.
He's almost quadrupled his stats from Man U in 4 games versus, 3 seasons? 2 seasons.
2.5.
2 seasons.
2.5, yeah.
So, I mean, look, Man U's clearly the problem, but...
Yeah. And look, so Watkins scored off that free kick, and then Rashford nearly set up the winner in injury time. Didn't happen. Ipswich get away with a draw. So again, they'll take any point they could get. You can
100%.
get a point against Villa, bro.
A point against Villa away from home is a beautiful point to get.
Yeah, good for Ipswich.
Well, then we had the City Newcastle game.
Yeah, I got this one wrong.
Yeah,
I had
did I.
I had Newcastle.
Yeah, I went Newcastle too.
Yeah.
They've obviously been the informed team. Ishak has dropped off in the last few games.
He really has.
He has,
You want
right?
to know the worst part as well? Not only just Ishak, because I put him in my team and he sucked straight. Not straight away, but he sucked eventually. I put Lewis Hall in my team.
Oh.
As soon as I put him in my team, 0 clean sheets, 0 assists.
Dude, can you put some City players in for this week then?
No.
No, they'll win, man.
So look, the big headline in this one is Marmoush
Gets a hat-trick.
gets a hattie. You know what I mean?
Look, to be fair, it was a pretty simple hat-trick. The chip was nice. His opening goal for the chip.
Yeah, Kieran Trippier. Now we can see why Kieran Trippier's on the bench
Yeah.
because he's lost it.
Yeah. I mean, look, they lose their legs, right? They can't play all these games.
He tried to intercept it, and you're like, bro, you're too off there. You're not going to get there.
Yeah.
And look what happened.
Yeah.
Then his second goal, Burns was so off the line and kept him on side, buried that one. And then he got his third from a Savinho cross. You know what I mean? Buried it. And then
McAtee gets
that was in the first half as well. So
Yeah,
first half Hattie,
wasn't the first 30 minutes?
33, yeah.
Yeah. First 30 minutes, he gets a hat-trick, and you think, well, that's your day done.
That's a good little introduction, into the Premier League. You know, it's a good way to shout your name out, like I'm here.
100%. And also I find interesting, Marmoush is on free kicks already.
He's taking the free kicks.
He is, yeah. He's on free kicks already.
Foden will probably take him, eh?
Yeah.
I'd probably Marmoush.
He's hot and cold. I mean,
He is hot and cold, yeah.
When we jump into the Champions League, we can talk about he had a great free kick in the Champions League.
Yes.
This morning. But,
Yep.
again, there's another young player that's coming up, McAtee.
He's been he's been getting a lot more game time, obviously due to the injuries. So, he had a shot, and he got a goal off a corner. So, yeah, good for him.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, then we had a shock result in the Fulham Forest game.
Fulham Forest. Yes, so I had a draw in that one.
I went Forest.
You went Forest, yeah.
I went Forest.
Well,
and both wrong.
I will say that man of the match was actually Sells. He made 8 saves in that game.
Oh, yeah.
He got peppered and kept Forest in that game the whole game. First kicked off with Smith Rowe, like we said, Traore, strong. He kept the ball in, did really well, crossed it in, Smith Rowe with the header. And then Woods, again.
But, Chris Woods, he's got to be... I think he is the most informed striker in the Premier League this season.
Yes.
Because he's held the form the entire year.
He's been consistent.
If he doesn't score one week, he scores the next.
Correct, yeah.
Right? And that may be multiple of goals. But he's always scoring. He obviously is loving life at Forest.
Yeah.
It suits his style of play.
It does.
And the players know to get him the ball.
Yeah.
When they get him the ball, he gets the goals.
And this one was a lot different from his normal goals. This one, it kind of popped up for him nicely, which was, excellent for him. But then he tries to take a shot, and the guy slides in and he cuts it back in with his left, standing position, and just buries it in the bottom corner. You're like, that's a man in form.
Yeah, that's what he's confident.
He is confident.
He's confident on the ball.
Yeah.
He's not really worried about what defenders are going to do to him.
Yep.
He's just going to do what he does best and bury the ball. right? If you get him in front of goals, he puts the ball in the corner every time.
Now, this one was a deflection, but man, when you're in form, you're in form.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's confident enough to have the shot.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of players, when they're not confident, they go to take the shot, they either blast it, or they try to get too creative with it, or they hit it straight at the keeper. Right?
Correct,
Like,
yeah.
He doesn't. He
Yeah.
looks there, he picks his corner, and he just shoots.
Yeah.
If it gets blocked, it gets blocked. Or, like he's getting this season, a deflection and goes in.
Yeah. And then, look, that was 1-1 half-time. And then Bassi. Now, I haven't heard much about Bassi. I don't know if he came in as an injury replacement, but he got the start for Fulham and gets his first goal of the season off a corner. Well-worked corner.
I mean,
Popped up to him, and he put it away.
It was a good finish. And look, it was unexpected. I didn't expect Fulham. But Fulham is a disruptive team, right?
They are very disruptive. There's a perfect adjective for them.
Because it could go either way. They've got the quality of players in their team to pull something off, like we've seen with Raul Jimenez, his back heel assist earlier in the season.
Still assist the season.
Yeah, 100%. And they've got, Smith Rowe, they've got Iwobi, they've got Adama Traore, all very difficult players to play against.
Well, you look. I just want to just throw out some of their results, right? So, look, they beat Forest 2-1. They beat Newcastle 2-1, but they lost to Man U at home 1-0. Then they beat. They drew with Bournemouth. They beat Chelsea, but they drew with Ipswich and lost to West Ham.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, they're so hard to pick, but
I think
they are great disruptors.
Yeah, they're one of those teams where they'll play to the quality they're playing against.
Yeah,
and I think that probably is. Really looks at the players they have. Yeah. Right? Because I think when they verse the bigger teams, they know they've got to stay tight. They know that they've got to be compact, and they know that they've got to play to their strengths, being obviously some of their wider players, right? You've got Smith Rowe, Iwobi, Adama. You want to get the ball out to them, see what they can create. Then they get the ball across into Jimenez. I think when they play these smaller teams and it's more of an open game is where they make mistakes.
Yeah.
Because those players try to take the ball too much. They try to run against the players, and they lose stuff on counters. But I'd hate playing them. Especially at Craven Cottage, right? You go over to...
It's a tight pitch.
It's a tight pitch.
It's right there.
Yeah. And
I love how the houses are right there as well.
Yeah,
it's hectic.
Great. It's great.
Next game.
Palace Everton.
Now, I had Palace in this one.
Hey, Moisey's...
Moisey for the boysies.
Moisey for the boysies.
Really turned this team around.
Well, he's playing old school football. I love it. I like it. I think the long ball works.
The long ball does work.
I think
we've been
works.
We've been saying it all fucking year.
Yeah.
The long ball can still work.
Yeah, and look, it's definitely working for him. I know from the goddamn last week.
Yeah.
Get as many fouls as possible, slow the game down as much as you can, right? Especially when you're the underdog team, and you play to your advantages, and that's their advantage, right? Look, I thought this was going to be a draw. I think maybe it could have gone to a draw. I think Palace probably had the better quality. Mateta's obviously in form. But, Everton win 2-1.
Yep. So, look, it started off with, there was a goal for Lerma, but the ball just went out for a corner. Did you see that?
I saw that.
I was like, that'd be such a burn job. That'd be such a burn. But then Richards goes on this run, goes to Sarr, hits the crossbar, right?
Yeah.
2 minutes later, terrible throw-in from the Palace. I think it was Munoz, however you say his name, Munoix, whatever his name is.
Oh, Munix,
yeah. He throws the ball in, goes straight to Alvarez, and then puts it in for Beto. And to be fair, Beto is on fire at the moment. Where the fuck has he come from?
Hey, I don't even know who the guy is, right? Like, he's
I'm pretty sure he's been at Everton for a minute.
I mean, the first half of the season was sitting there joking, like they've got Beto.
Yeah.
Right? And now he's sitting there, and he was in the running for Player of the Month.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
In the last 3-4 games, he scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
He doesn't do much else other than that, but again, Moisey does not need him to do anything else.
Yes.
He goes, I need you to get onto the back of the long ball, which obviously he can do.
He's a big guy.
He's a huge specimen of a human being.
He's a big striker.
Right?
Yeah.
He gets, and he's got good control. I'll give him that.
He's pretty quick for his size as well.
Yeah.
He's not He's not like a semi-trailer trying to turn, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like a Lukaku.
Like a Lukaku.
Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
With a touch like a donkey.
And then another striker in form, Mateta, scores straight after halftime. So Everton must have gone in there thinking, look, we've got halftime lead. I think we're going to do all right.
Let's hold this, boys. Yeah. Damn it.
And then literally within 2 minutes, Mateta scores. Scramble in the box, but, striker, you got to be there. And then Alcaraz. Okay, has Alcaraz been there the whole time, or did he just come in January?
I don't know.
I'm going to have a look at this.
Look it up, because I have no idea where this guy's come from. And he's probably one of those players that's been sitting on the damn bench.
Yeah.
And Mr. DJ didn't want to play him. You get Moisey in, Moisey goes,
Okay.
oh, yeah.
So he was at Flamengo
Okay.
in Brazil.
That's right. No, yes. This is their big signing.
He's at Everton on loan.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So 3 games. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist already. You know what? And the form that Everton are in might not be a bad pickup for fantasy.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That is definitely
might not
fair.
be a bad pickup.
Right? Because he was getting involved in all the different plays throughout the game.
It's crazy.
He picks up the ball and he kind of collects balls very quickly.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Well, then we had the Liverpool-Wolves game. We scraped a win here.
Yep.
I think, look...
We both had Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
We both had Liverpool.
Yep.
I mean, it was at Anfield. Pretty hard to beat us there.
Yep.
But, look, goals from Diaz and Salah. Look, we kind of... We destroyed them in the first half.
We'll call it a goal, the Diaz one. It was kind of bundled over the line.
I mean, he used his pelvis. Is that the good way to say it?
He got something on it.
Yeah, he got something on it whenever the keeper went in the goal. You know, a goal and assist for Salah.
Yeah.
But look, the first half was amazing, right?
Yes.
Destroyed Wolves. They didn't even look like they were in the game. Looked like we could have won 5-0. But again, we're not continuing on with the goals. We go out there, we get the lead. Kanate comes off at halftime because there was worry that he was going to get a red card.
Because he had a yellow already.
He got a yellow for a very silly decision where he just bundled into
Cunha?
Was it Cunha? Yeah. I think it was Cunha. He bundled into him, and to be fair, it was just a silly tackle to be made, and you could see that he was getting a bit, especially with Cunha. Cunha was
frustrated?
Cunha was kind of getting on him. They put Kwanzaa on. I think Kwanzaa did fine. But again, that second half. Now, there's obviously a big stack coming out. We had, I think, 10 shots in the first half. Second half, we had 0. We had 0. And it's the first time since they've recorded the stats that a team has had 0 shots in the second half after having a multiple of shots in the first. Something like that.
As in like Liverpool or any team?
Any team.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
It could specifically be Liverpool, but it's more that they've had, from going double-digit shots in the first half to having 0, no teams have done that.
Yeah, okay.
Right?
Double digits. That probably makes a bit more sense, yeah.
So then we look at it and look, Cunha scored a fucking beautiful goal.
Bro, that was nice. That was class.
Dude.
And again, we're going to talk about fantasy. Wolves have a nice little run. Again, Cunha might be a shout.
Well, he was in my team earlier in the season.
But then they had a hard run,
so
we took him out.
And I think he could be a call to go back into
Correct,
it. Because, look, he's their main outlet, and he's also resigned for them, right?
Yes.
So I think he enjoys the club, likes the kind of teammates that he's with, and they give him a lot of ball. So, look, it was disappointing for us in the second half. This could have easily been a draw.
The Kwanzaa intercept tackle, woo, bro, came out of nowhere as well.
Yeah.
Just Kwanzaa just popped out and just intercepted the ball because that was going in.
Yeah,
That was
no,
going
100%.
in, yeah.
And I think the concerning thing I've seen the last few weeks is how it kind of dropped from we were always going for blood, right? And now it kind of seems like we're easing back when we get that lead.
I think it's more of that,
And that's probably the amount of games we got, right?
yes, it's starting to catch up, which is what I thought it was actually going to happen earlier in the season. So I think credit to you guys for being able to still hold that high level to February. But the one thing that I saw is that they haven't got that the way I see it, right, is like when you're leading the title, I've seen this with Chelsea, right? When you're leading for the title, you tend to shore up more at the back and just be super safe. You guys seem to be going the opposite way, which is, I don't know if it's concerning yet, but it's not a good look if you want to, because it's kind of like you're like dragging over the line instead of like coming hard over the line.
Correct. I think, the no striker for us is a problem. Okay, because obviously we've got Darwin.
No out and out striker, you mean?
Yeah,
right?
no one that's really sufficient.
Well,
in
they've
that
had
role.
Diaz up there. He ain't a striker.
No, he's not a striker. And to be fair, he's really dropped off even out wide because Gakpo has picked up so much. Obviously, him being injured this weekend hurt us.
Yep.
Because he is the other outlet that we're using other than Salah. Right?
Yes,
He's
yes.
getting the assist and he's getting the goals.
Yeah, and he missed both games.
And he missed both games this weekend due to the knock that he had. He'll come back for the next game apparently.
Which is a bit unfortunate because he's probably been under Salah, probably your most impactful player.
Yeah, so I think if you're going to look at who's our kind of 3 most impactful players this season, Alexis McAllister, slash
I'll probably
Gravenberg.
go more Gravenberg.
Slash
Yeah.
Gravenberg. I
He's
think
actually started to drop off a little bit too, Gravenberg.
I think people have started to figure him out, and when we get to Everton, kind of really did it. They box him out, right?
Yeah.
So they don't let him use an outlet. Now it obviously suffers because you lose all your attacking options because you have to have your attackers sitting deeper to block it.
Yep.
But it helps you midfield.
Yes.
And I think Wolves tried it. They just didn't have the
Quality?
It's not really the quality. I think it's the size.
Oh, okay.
Like Everton have.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if he gets the ball and he can drop his shoulder, you're screwed because you've got to commit a player to him.
Yep.
Whereas I just don't think they had that in the midfield that was able to do it.
Yep.
So Gravenberg was still getting the ball a little bit. He had to drift a bit wider, but he got the ball and he was able to turn out. But look, once you shut him down, we do lose that big outlet, right? And we do have to go kind of more of a longer route, which generally goes to Salah or Gakpo.
Yep.
And without Gakpo there, you can see Diaz doesn't like the ball over the top. Diaz wants the ball at his feet.
He wants the ball at his feet, yeah.
And he wants to be able to turn out, which is what Gravenberg brings to him, right?
Yep.
So he can turn out, get the ball in. Alexis, to an extent, can do that as well.
Yep.
But Alexis is more of a recycler. So he'll go and get the ball. But then, our other two are Gakpo and Salah. Obviously, Van Dijk's always the option. He's just a great player, but he's so good that we don't need to mention him. But look, it was a bit of a concerning game in the second half, right? I think we dropped off. We lost focus. We made a few changes. Look, I mean, I say that, but we did have a penalty disallowed, which was 100% correct, right? Jota dove.
He dove,
He
yes.
dove, 100%.
And
He
then
should have
the
got a yellow
other
card,
one-
and he didn't.
Luckily, I think because he didn't call it, they don't give retroactive
Yeah,
yellow cards.
makes
So he was
sense.
lucky there, yeah.
He let it go. No, well, he did award the penalty. And
Yeah.
VAR overturned it.
So because it was overturned, they don't brandish yellows. They only brandish reds.
And then we obviously had the two goals ruled out for offside as well.
Yep.
So, whilst I rag to say, we didn't have shots on the shots at all, it's just that more the shots we had got overturned. And then you could see that we started losing the focus in the back half. We almost sat back like we'd had the win, it's all good. And then Cunha whips out a goal, and now we've all of a sudden started
And then
scrambling.
you're scrambling after
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
and everyone knows who's played football that once you start scrambling, mistakes are made.
Yep.
And that's what happened.
Yep.
But why don't we jump into the Tottenham Man U game?
Look,
This one will be quick.
Yeah, I had Spurs.
I also had Spurs.
This was
It's the battle of the two shit form teams.
Yeah, well, this is the difference, right? Man U are losing more players and Spurs were gaining players.
Yeah.
And what happened is they get back Vicario. Look at that. Like, first clean sheet at home since August.
I mean, look, and Madison coming back in the team makes the difference.
Well, he was the difference.
It was a good tapping goal.
Yeah.
Right? It was a good tapping goal. But again, you have to have the awareness to be there to get that tapping.
Well, you can see the
So he
difference
did.
is that the defenders are standing like statues. And I forget who made the shot, Medlicor maybe, or Son. They have the shot,
Son.
and you could see Madison going.
Yeah.
He's going. He's ready for the follow up. Whereas the Man U guys are just standing there like statues.
Yeah, I
was
thought
the
it was very
difference.
funny when Bruno Fernandes comes running afterwards and starts blaming De Ligt for the goal and yelling at him. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what do you really want De Ligt to do there?
come on,
He's
bro.
making the run from midfield.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Who's the midfielder?
Give the guy a break. you
Yeah,
know
that's what I mean. Okay, it's not really his fault, right? To be fair, Onana probably should have made a better save. He's just saved it into his 6-yard box.
Yeah, either you push it behind,
Yeah.
or catch it if you can, or push it out.
You don't
punch it
just
out, something.
yeah. If saving it straight down to your 6-yard box is probably not
Probably not the best idea, right?
Yeah, but and that was the only goal in the game. I think there were chances.
Look, the best one
for
was
Man-
Garnacho, 23rd minute, gets the ball. Gets the ball from I think it's Bruno,
Yeah,
and just blasts it over the bar, not even close. You're going, you have so much talent, you just. There's just something that you just can't grasp onto.
It's got to be hard, right? That you've got, January transfer came. They're like, yeah, we're getting rid of you. No one, they don't get rid of him, and
now
then they're
he's
like,
stuck
oh,
there.
you're back in the team. He's got to be sitting there going, where am I going next?
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. This is clearly shit. The team's crap. The results are crap.
Yep.
And they don't want me here. So I might as well get the hell out of here.
But now you're
But
playing
there's-
for them.
But now you got to play for them. So it's look, they're in shambles at the moment. And there's obviously all these rumours. Man U's going for this player. Man U's going for that player. Tells from Tottenham apparently wants to go to Man U now.
Tells from... Oh, what?
Yeah, and again, this is probably a debunking that I could go through.
When it's transfer window time, I'm sure
I'll
we'll
debunk some of these. Because if I'm sitting there, especially in the Tottenham game, going, I don't want to go there.
What team would you rather play for? Now, if I want money, I'll go to Man U.
Yeah.
If you want to play for a manager that has a clear goal with a squad which is already kind of semi-building, bro, you go Tottenham.
100%.
Man U is literally building from the bottom up.
Yeah.
It's bottom up, right?
Oh, they're gonna do a whole overhaul. Right? They're gonna be
100%.
terrible for the next 3-4 seasons.
Yep.
Right? And that's if they can kind of pick it up and get their spending right. But I don't think they can.
Yep.
And then so we'll jump in the last game of the round.
Last game, yep. So last game was this morning. So fresh in our memories.
Yeah, so he was
Now I had a draw in this one. I think this is the point of difference with
I
us.
had Liverpool, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm always going to back them. I thought Villa drawing 1-1 to a 10-man Ipswich. It was a clear indicator that we could definitely do Villa. And the start of the game looked like we were going to just smoke them. For the first 5, 8, 10 minutes, we were all over them. It was chance after chance. They were gifting us the ball back out of the back. They tried to play it out of the back. We would come in. Pressure was too much. Get the ball.
Martinez saved them in that first
100%.
15 minutes.
Martinez, I mean, it shows the quality. That's why he won the World Cup and
the Copa America
and the Copa America twice. There's a reason that it's happened, right? But
Villa are so lucky to have him. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, the opening goal, McGinn turns around, just...
Garcia.
Was it Garcia?
Garcia,
it was Garcia, the fullback. This is after he got hit in the balls too.
So we're going to blame it on that.
Yeah. So, Garcia just turns around, passes the ball directly to Jota.
Which is so funny because Jota, usually if it's an interception, you'll stick a leg out
or
you'll run for it. Literally straight to it. It's like Jota called for it.
Yeah.
He goes, here you go, bang.
Yeah, there you go, mate. Turns around, gets the ball across the box. Salah taps it in.
Yeah.
Good assist by him. And that was the only good thing Jota did in the game.
Yeah.
Because everything after that was shocking. Because it was...
Do you reckon it's because he's just coming back from injury? Like he hasn't got the fitness yet?
Mate, he's always injured though.
That's true.
He's one of our most injured players. So he's got to be used to coming back from injury. I don't understand. He's sitting there and to be fair, he's... I don't even know how to explain it. Like the one where he cuts into the box, he's got no pressure on him, and he goes to curl the ball into the far corner and just kicks it out to the corner flag.
He curled it, but he curled it the wrong way.
Yeah.
He curled that way. He curled it out instead of in.
And I'm like, that's your bread and butter, dude.
Yeah.
That's what you're good at doing,
Yeah.
right? I know you don't really drop the shoulder and beat someone with pace. You get in there, you get a little turn on, and you curl it into the bottom or top corner. That's what he's known for, and he's just not doing it. And whether that's an indicator of what's going on in the press at the moment, but it was just terrible. And then you have Tielemans' goal. Now, this is where I have a problem with how we've been playing lately.
Yeah.
Is we don't clear the ball.
Yeah.
The ball is there. We're headering it up in the air. I don't know what Alisson does. It comes down to Soboslai, who's now sitting as the last man for some reason. I get it. It's like
It was off a corner, a free kick.
Yeah,
right?
it's a set piece situation, and I get he should be back in defence. But why are you the guy hitting it out? Right, when you've got Kanate and Virgil van Dijk that are the two best aerial winners in the league at the moment, how are they not there under the ball? But the more concerning thing is that Alisson had the ability to get out and get that ball. He should have been, and he hesitated to get it. Obviously, the header from Soboslai has gone to Tielemans, who's beautifully finished it.
He's buried it.
I mean, look,
it's a
bit of a scuff, but it doesn't matter. If it goes in,
right?
if it goes in, it's a good goal.
Yeah.
And then we see 2 minutes before the end of the half, Watkins gets his goal.
And that whole build-up play from the back to the centre, to the wing, back to Watkins, out to Digne, who then crosses it to a running on Watkins. Great play. But you guys allowed them to make those runs. It's like you're all standing still waiting for the half to be over.
Yeah, no,
That's what it felt like.
And again, it's the same thing that just went back to in the Ipswich game. We switched off.
Yeah.
We weren't switched on to say, okay, they were looking for half-time because, again, we let Villa get into the game.
Yep.
And we didn't clear our lines. We didn't, make tackles, right? I've said this time and time again. Dominic Szoboszlai in the midfield, he gets into the position to make the tackle and he misses the tackle. Or he's not strong enough in the tackle to get the tackle. Jota was doing the same. Alexis was okay.
Yep.
Curtis always is strong in the tackle, right?
He's always strong, yeah.
I enjoyed him on the pitch because I think it was kind of...
He brings in a lot of energy.
Yeah. But, yeah, we let them take that lead.
Yep.
And then we come into the second half. We get lucky with the kind of deflection for Trent's goal.
And like a minute before, Jota also hit the crossbar. So you got, again, it just wasn't his day. But like you said, luckily, ball comes out. Salah, there's a slide tackle. Salah somehow keeps the ball.
Mm-hmm. As he always does, but...
He does. He just has a knack of just keeping the ball at his feet.
He's an awkward player, right? He's awkward. The way he dribbles is awkward. And this is funny. Like, I always get into arguments with people where they go, Salah can't dribble. I'm like, well, he just dribbled past 3 people. And they go, oh, well, it doesn't look good. It's like, cool, but it worked.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, he was lucky. I'm like, well, you can't be lucky if he does it every game. You know what I mean? But, gets the ball across to Trent.
Yep.
He takes a whack at it, takes the deflection, goes in the goal.
Yep.
And I think, look, we needed that portion of luck.
Because then the wind was behind you guys. Because Villa are now like, oh, fuck, here they come again.
Yep.
And it looked like
we did.
It was going to happen.
We did. We brought Nunes on, right? And that should have been a good sub. Dominic Szoboszlai gets a breakaway from the ball. He's going one-on-one with the keeper. Unselfishly puts the ball across to Nunes.
Yep.
What does Nunes do? Kicks it into fucking Rosé, dude.
Yeah, it was open goal and everything.
It's just...
like, we can make excuses, right?
There's no excuses to be made. There is none, right? Like, and I think the Liverpool fans, me especially, and all the boys that are Liverpool supporters, we've supported him, right? We like his attitude, we like the way he runs, but enough's enough, right?
Yeah.
Like, you cannot time and time again miss these opportunities because I don't care if you score the screamers and you come on in injury time and get 2 goals against Newcastle to win the game. Great. Like, that's cool.
That was a
saving grace.
It was also a what's it called? Like a delay of execution. Like you guys have wanted a moment like this, not wanted for your sake, but a game where you can say Nunes needs to go, right? And I think this is the game where it's just been like,
because
that's it.
You get, so yes, he misses that Dominic Szoboszlai, like, here, have a goal.
He squared it.
Here,
it
have a
perfect.
goal. There was no bobble in it. There's no excuse, right, to be made.
Sorry, before you get to the funniest part was Slot. Did you hear what Slot said?
Yeah, there's one man in the dressing room that's...
No, something else.
What else?
So when he did that, Slot goes to the 4th official. Was he offside? And he's like, nah. And Slot just goes, fuck.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh,
yeah.
what?
So in other words, he's trying to save him.
Like, he was trying so hard to be like, he was offside. If he was offside, he'd be like, okay, you're offside.
Yeah.
Walk it out of your head.
Yeah.
But you can't, you're not offside. You did everything right, but put the ball in the back of the net.
And then not only that, he gets another ball through, gets the pace. Martinez comes flying out of his goal, outside of his 18-yard box. Dink it over him.
Perfect tackle by Martinez.
It was a great play by Martinez, but that's what you want as a striker. You go, I want the keeper vulnerable, right? He's going to come out. All you got to do is a little chip over the keeper, and you're either going to get taken out and get, well, he would have got a penalty in this instance, but Martinez would have got a red.
He would have got a red, yep.
And then you have an opportunity, or you have an opportunity on goal, and it doesn't do either. He kicks the ball into Martinez and loses it. And look, good for Martinez, but that's what we've got you for. Nunes. That's what we paid big money for you to do, right? If we'd only paid 40 million for Nunes, I'd sit there and be like, okay, but we paid 95 million for him.
Yeah, it's big.
That's
big
huge money,
yeah.
right? And if someone comes knocking for any kind of money, he's gone. Right?
I think he has to.
I think Saudi may come.
He's done his dash. Look, I will give a bit of credit to Villa. At the end of the game, they had a couple half chances. Rodgers had a good, not one-on-one, but he was pretty close to Alisson. Skied it, and then last kick of the game, Marlon gets the ball. The ball's bouncing, pops up to him. He runs, has a shot, and just goes across goal. Literally the last kick of the game. Finished with a 2-2 draw, and catching up to you.
Yeah, it's it. Look, 1 point behind. See how we do this week.
We've still got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah. 13 more rounds, baby.
We're thinking about two-thirds of the way through
I think after the first 13 rounds, I had like a 9-point lead on you. So he can definitely shift. But why don't we go through the Champions League games?
Yeah, let's smash through this. Some very interesting results. Obviously, There's a couple of big games. Mm-hmm. But who do you want to start with?
Well, look, why don't we just start? We'll just go in order. Preston, PSG.
Yep.
So, look, over the 2 legs, what was it? A 10-0? It
was a 10-0
deficit.
yeah.
There's not a whole lot to say with this. I think it's Paris Saint-Germain just...
They dominate the Farmers
them.
League. They dominate the Farmers League.
They outclassed them.
And look, I will bring up this one note that happened today. They won 7-0 and they had 7 different goal scorers. So that was nice for them.
Yeah. But then we had Man City, Real Madrid.
Hey, the game of the knockouts, and this did not disappoint.
No, it didn't. I think, 3-2 in the first game.
3-1 in the second game.
And 3-1 in the second. And look, but you can tell, right? Real Madrid's more quality than what Man City have.
Doesn't matter where Real Madrid come. They're always fucking there, bro.
Yeah.
You just can't get rid of them in the Champions League.
There's a reason they've won the most of them.
Yeah.
Right?
Can we just quickly talk about the 2? These are probably the 2 games we'll probably just get into a little bit. So, look, first game was 3-2 to Real Madrid at home. It's 1-0. Haaland scores a double. He goes up 1-0. Then Mbappe scores a scrappy goal. 80th minute, 2-1 to Manchester City. Mm-hmm. Haaland gets a pen. And then for typical Real Madrid, 86th minute, Brahim Diaz comes on for about 5 minutes and scores a goal.
Yeah.
92nd minute, Jude Bellingham. Vinicius had a shot, went over the keeper, and Bellingham just came in and buried it. And
he's showing his class.
This
That's the reason they spent the money for him.
This is Real Madrid to a T. Then, today's game, they win 3-1. Mbappe scores a hat-trick. Now, I know a lot of people were ragging on him at the start of the season. He wasn't scoring, blah, blah, blah. Bro, he is on fire at the moment. Mm-hmm. And if this Mbappe and this team stays together, bro, they're winning like at least 5 Champions Leagues in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how good they are.
Oh, but it's crazy, right? Because, I mean, obviously everyone was commenting on Mbappe at the start of the season.
Correct, yes.
I mean, he's proving that he was a good buy.
Yeah, well,
proving.
It was a good free buy.
This morning.
Yeah.
Hat-trick this morning.
Killing it in La Liga.
Killing it in La Liga. And, I mean, they went from Real Madrid almost out of the Champions League.
Yeah, remember that? There were 2 games. They were just inside.
Yeah.
And now look at them. They've made the knockout stages with ease, pretty much. They've taken out a top 5 competitor.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And then we had Juventus. These were night and day games against PSG.
Right. It was
They're proving that away from home, Juventus aren't a threat.
No.
They're not a threat away from home.
They're still building towards what Thiago Motta wants the team to be. Now, look, the first leg, good win for them. They won 2-1. This leg, they kind of let PSV take over the game. Mm-hmm. And I think that came down to PSV's dedication in their midfield. It ends up 2-1. So we go to extra time. And look, PSV were in front. Like, they wanted that goal. Yep. You could tell Juve were trying to go for pens, or they were trying to just hold out. Didn't work. PSV get the goal.
They're trying to play that Italian style of football, right?
Nah, look.
And I just don't think it's too old school to be playing that way now. I think, especially when you've got fullbacks that are bombing up the pitch these days, that you're getting overloaded. And if you're going to sit there, because if you're sitting back in that old kind of defensive style, you give them a little bit of time on the ball. There's too many overlapping runs.
Yep.
Way too many overlapping runs.
Yeah. So, look, they got done in extra time. Unfortunate, because Juve is my Italian team, if you want to put it that way. So, look, and we will continue on with the other Italian teams in the other games. But the other game was the Dortmund Sporting. Look, Dortmund won 3-0 in the first game in Portugal, and there was 0-0 today.
Yeah.
So, Dortmund did what they had to do.
Yeah, correct. All right. They put it back in Sporting. And look, since Emery's left Sporting, they just haven't really picked up at all.
They've really dipped.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah.
Massively. Then we had the Club Brugge Atalanta game.
This was, over the 2 legs, very unexpected. Now, look, Club Brugge, the first game, they won 2-1, but they got a penalty right at the end of the game, which probably wasn't a penalty, and it took the wind out of the sails. But you go to Italy, and Club Brugge are up 3-0 before half-time. It was just the ball would not go in for Atalanta, and everything that Club Brugge did just ended up in a goal.
Well, then you have Atalanta's captain getting a red card.
But he just saw red. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. I don't know what the guy said to him, but he tried to throw the ball at him, fell over.
That was hilarious.
What the hell? And then runs at him with an elbow.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, he went a little bit spastic with that one.
Yeah.
So he'll cop a big ban in the Champions League or wherever they come.
I think it's even more interesting, the goddamn president coming out and saying, look, man, shouldn't have been taking the penalty that he missed.
Which is so funny because, one, he came off the bench and scored within a minute.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, Atalanta's got that one goal, right? They get another one soon, the game's back on. They get a pen. Now, okay, Lookman missed the pen. Wasn't a great pen, but wasn't the worst pen.
Correct.
And then for him to come out and say that is very disrespectful.
Well, I mean, look, I see Lookman leaving.
Has to.
Like, surely leaving from
Yeah.
this season. And I think there'll be clubs lining up for him. He's a great
Yeah,
player.
he
Like,
will,
He's
yeah.
a good player. And again, in the Europa League final, they were the only team to beat Leverkusen through the whole season.
Yeah.
This is talking Bayern Munich too.
Yeah.
And he was the pivotal part for that happening.
Well, he's got a Hattie in a Europa League final. Like, that is ridiculous. And less than 1 year later, you're going to disrespect him like that?
That's crazy.
Something's
Crazy.
going on.
Yeah,
Something's going on.
how short's your memory? You know? It's crazy. Well, then we had another kind of tie, Feyenoord and Milan.
So this is the third Italian team who got
Yeah.
knocked out.
Well,
Look,
crazy result, right? Feyenoord, obviously Slot's old team.
Yep.
He's left there, and he's obviously left a bit of a legacy with them because
Yeah.
they're playing fantastically.
yeah, so the first leg they win 1-0. I think it was like a goal in the 4th minute, and just
And they just held out.
Milan could not do anything, right? Second leg, so it's 1-0 to Milan after a minute. Now, Jimenez was the old Feyenoord striker.
Yes.
Plays against Feyenoord and scores against him within 1 minute. And you're like, oh, I see he's going to take this from here. And then Teo Fernandez decides to have 2 brain explosions.
One, he just threw that guy to the ground.
Like, not even like a tussle. He just grabs him, just throws him. You're going, oh, well, that's a yellow,
Yeah.
right? Then in the second half, he's running in, slide tackle.
No, it wasn't even a slide tackle.
Wasn't
the guy,
a slide?
It was a standing tackle.
Oh, it was,
And he does the stand, plants his foot nowhere near Hernandez, right? Doesn't reach for him, doesn't do anything,
Yep.
and he decides I'm going to dive on a yellow card.
Yep.
And then goes and looks at the referee afterwards, like, why would you give me a yellow card? Well, you just threw yourself to the fucking ground, dude.
That's called simulation, and it's a yellow card.
and it's something that the Champions League really cracks down on, right?
And then 20 minutes later, Feyenoord get their goal. Finishes 1-1 on the night. Feyenoord go through 2-1 aggregate.
Well, I mean, I love to see that happen, right? Because I like to see that the smaller teams go through, especially with a win like that, where they've really got to fight it out. There's obviously a lot of chances Milan's trying to create, and Feyenoord just hold in there, get their goal, and carry on.
Yeah, it was the same with PSV this morning. You know, like Juve kept coming and coming and coming, and they just held.
They followed the game plan that they had, and they followed it to a T.
Yep.
Then we had Bayern Munich and Celtic.
This was unexpected.
I felt sorry for Celtic in this one.
Same,
Right? Brendan
same.
Rodgers, I think, played a very good game.
Yes.
Against Bayern Munich. Obviously, look, Bayern Munich beat them 2-1 in the opening game.
Yeah, this was in Scotland as well,
Yep.
right? So,
Yep.
I mean, 2-1. Look, Bayern scored 2 quick goals. They're up 2-0 thinking, they're just going to run away with it. But credit to Celtic. They came back and scored in the 79th minute, finished 2-1. And you're thinking, look, not the worst result for Celtic, but, it keeps them within distance. And then you think, they're going to go to Germany and get pumped like 7-0. Nope. Celtic think, we're going to change the script and we're going to score first.
Yeah.
60 it was 0 at halftime thinking, what the fuck is going on here?
The Bayern Munich defence for that Celtic goal was in shambles.
Yeah, I know what happened
What
there.
was
bro.
going on? They were
The sixes and
disjointed. They
sevens, bro, they were just
weren't in
everywhere.
line. No one was talking to each other.
Yep.
And they've got a good, strong backline, right? I would take some of those centre backs and put them in the Liverpool squad. I'd put them in any kind of squad.
Yeah, with
But-
Upamecano and Kim, Guerrero, you know what I mean? Like,
they
good team.
they get their one goal, and it looks like it's going to go to extra time.
Yep.
And then, 94th minute goal
Yep.
from Alphonso Davies. Now, there is some controversy around the Celtic fans mostly, right? So the striker that they have at Celtic gets into a bit of a tussle at the end of the pitch with Upamecano.
Maida.
Maida,
Maida, yeah.
gets into a tussle with Upamecano, who gets he cops an elbow in the head, goes down with a head injury. Referee tells him to get up. Right? Now, obviously, we assume that the protocol for this is that the game should stop given it's a head injury.
Correct, yeah.
That doesn't happen. Referee tells him to get up. They go down the other end of the pitch and get the goal. So, look, it's a soft one, but I can see why the Celtic fans are going to get upset
Yeah,
by
because
it.
if you're following the rules, the rule is any sort of head injury, you're meant to stop. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then look, final game of the knockouts here, we had Benfica and Monaco, which
Whoa, bro, this game was spastic. Like,
And-
sorry, the second game was spastic.
the first game was kind of weird.
Yeah, first game, I mean...
We had a red card for Monaco.
Yep.
Fairly early, and then
Benfica ended up scoring.
Benfica ends up scoring after that.
Yep.
Hurting yourself, and then
Well, sorry, it was the other way around. They scored, and then there was a red card.
which is you're not getting back in the game.
Correct,
after that.
yeah. And yeah, so look, Monaco did what they had to do to keep it nice and close. But then the second leg, bro, shit just went spastic, eh? So there was a goal. So first it was Benfica, so they're up 2-0. Then to Monaco, 2-1. Then another Monaco goal, so 2-2 on aggregate. Then Benfica score to make it 3-2 on aggregate. Then Monaco score 5 minutes later to make it 3-3 on aggregate. And then 3 minutes later again, Benfica score.
Yeah.
Bro, it was so back and forth. It's like everything, like whatever you do, we can do.
Yeah.
Like it was just back and forth, back and forth.
It turned into that game, right? Because
Yep.
as soon as Monaco took the lead, Benfica knew they had to get the goal back.
Correct. And
They're
they
not
just
going to be
gone-
an easy team to verse.
And they're like, we're going to score.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy team to verse.
Yeah.
But, why don't we jump into the brackets?
Yeah, let's do the brackets.
And
This is
see what
the-
it could
'cause this
be.
is
Now,
the
I'll throw it
first-
up on the screen.
This is the first time that we're doing this sort of bracket.
Start around for the round of 16. Because, look, obviously, Liverpool, Barca are in that kind of first bracket. Now, we have either Paris Saint-Germain or we come down the other end and have Benfica.
Obviously, you'd want Benfica.
Yes, 100%. Obviously, PSG is scoring for fun at the moment, and they're going to be difficult. I don't see them scoring for fun against Barca or Liverpool, but they definitely could.
They could be a problem.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I mean?
100%, right?
Yeah.
Ousmane Dembele is not someone that's easy to mark, right? He's clearly been at Barca too. So I think that would be some sweet revenge if they were to pick up PSG.
And Vasquilla there now is having a field day.
Yeah.
He's loving it.
So,
And then you've got Barcola as well. So they've got a mad front three.
If we see Barca versus Paris Saint-Germain, which is my preference, clearly.
Of course, yeah.
But if we see Barca versus Paris Saint-Germain, I think there's goals to be had.
Oh, there's definitely goals. Barca
Yeah.
love to score. Rafinha will definitely score, but their defense ain't solid.
Well, then we've got Lille and Aston Villa, so they could either get Club Brugge.
How underwhelming is that?
Yeah, I know.
So underwhelming.
Or Dortmund. But to be fair, that's
Dortmund were in the final last year, right? So they're not scrubs. Like they've been here before.
No. They know how to win a Champions League.
Correct,
That's
yeah.
for sure. But look, I think that's probably a very competitive game, right? Because Aston Villa or Lille playing either of those teams,
Well-
I think you're going to see something.
If I want to see like the better game, you want to see Villa Dortmund, but then I don't want to watch Lille Club Brugge.
No.
So
don't.
let's hope Villa Club Brugge and Lille Dortmund, and then we get the better teams to go through.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Well, then obviously we've
Bro.
got Atletico Madrid
This
and Leverkusen.
This is
Now,
big.
This is going to be huge.
This is
right?
big, yeah.
So they're
Either-
either going to get Real Madrid or they're going to get
Bayern Munich. Yeah.
To be fair, I want to see Atletico Real.
You want to see the Madrid derby?
100%. That's so much emotion.
And then you've got Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
Bro,
It's giant
what a
rivalries,
draw.
right? Yeah.
It's going to happen. Can we bet on this?
Yes.
I'm betting on it.
Was it ever a question that we weren't going to bet on this? What are we talking about?
No, I want to bet that Leverkusen get Bayern Munich.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wonder if we can do that.
I want to bet on that.
Yeah,
I don't care if it's $1.90. I'm betting on it.
I mean, look, FIFA's corrupt, man.
They
Give
definitely
the
are.
people what they want. Let
We want to see
corruption working
Madrid
out for them.
derby and they're not the De Classica. Whatever they're called. We got the top two teams in Germany.
Yeah, and then these are kind of nothing ones as well, right? We've got Inter and Arsenal.
The two Dutch
I mean,
teams.
the only Italian team that's left.
To be fair, Inter is the best Italian team there anyway. They only
That's
conceded 3 goals all
Very
Champions
true.
League.
Defensively, they're the strongest.
Easily.
in the
whole Champions League.
Champions League, they're,
Yep.
they're the strongest defensive team.
Yep.
I mean, look, whoever Arsenal, Arsenal are in a lucky position here, right?
Correct,
They're
yeah.
either going to get Feyenoord or PSV.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have the ability to score a lot of goals at the moment.
Mm.
And
I will say that you guys have a nice run though. If whoever you get, the next game will be out of the Villa, Lille, Club Brugge, Dortmund leg bracket. So that's a good little quarterfinal
we
for you
could get
guys.
Dortmund, and Dortmund's not an easy one to get, but at least we're kind of
Out of that
skipping,
bracket?
We're skipping the Bayern Munich,
Correct.
Real Madrid type
Yeah,
of
exactly.
situations.
Yeah.
We may not get Real Madrid to the final if we make the final.
Again.
God damn it.
Could you imagine again?
Fuck, dude.
Third time's a charm?
I mean, we beat them this year. I don't know. Fuck. But look,
Very exciting times.
so
we're getting to the knockout stages.
draws tomorrow.
Yep.
So next week we can obviously see who
We'll go through it because
bring
there'll be the
back.
draws for Champions League, Europa League, and Conference League.
Yeah,
so we've got
100%.
next week set.
So why don't we do our tips
Yep.
for the next round of
Yes.
the EPL? So obviously got match day 26.
Yep.
We've got Leicester and Brentford as the opening game. That's Saturday morning. I should
Saturday
say.
morning. So make sure you got your fantasy in Friday night.
Yeah, that's it. So we'll get our fantasies up.
Yep.
But I've got Brentford for that game.
Yeah, look, I can't trust Leicester to do anything. So look, I was thinking draw. Maybe they might pull it, but I think
I
that
was trying to think that too, but
them losing like that last week, I think took the sail out of the
you
win.
tell me
so-
who's going to score for Leicester.
Oh no, it'll be 0-0. That's the only draw. That's the only draw I can see.
Yeah. But the thing is, Brentford's too good at scoring.
They are. They did only score the one against West Ham, but again, that was away, and I can see
Two
them.
disallowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true,
know?
true. Yeah, so I've got Brentford in that one as
Then
well.
we've got Everton, Man U.
Bro, Everton is on fire, and Man U is cold as ice.
Hey, I'd go Beto for multiple goals in this.
That's actually not a bad bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've gone Everton.
And then we've got Bournemouth and Wolves.
Look, I do like Wolves, but Bournemouth are just too solid at the moment.
I think so. I mean, they're hard to score against.
Correct,
They're
yeah.
hard to score against, and they create too many chances.
Correct,
Their
yeah.
fullbacks are too good.
And if they
Kluivert-
get a couple set pieces, bro, I can't see Wolves holding them out.
No, I can't see it either.
Yep.
Then we've got Ipswich, Tottenham. Now, we may see a few players returning for Tottenham this week.
Correct,
Right?
yep.
So, and I think if you see like a Mickey Van der Ven coming in off the bench or Romero coming back,
Yep.
which apparently they're all back in training now.
Yep.
It's a different Tottenham side. Madison's
it's-
obviously going to play. Son's going to play.
Bro, it's such a totally different team,
Yeah,
bro, when
so-
they get their players back.
I mean, look, I think Ipswich were lucky to get a point last week. I think they've used up their luck. I've gone with Tottenham.
I've gone Tottenham as well. Yeah, especially they got the red card as well, which won't help them. They've got a pretty thin squad, so I've gone Spurs.
Then we've got Southampton, Brighton. I think the form Brighton's in at the moment. I mean, Southampton.
Southampton. I'm
Yeah.
never tipping Southampton, even against Ipswich. You know what I mean? So I've gone Brighton. So
Brighton
we've gone
as
exactly
well.
the same the whole way so far.
We're the same the whole way. We've got Arsenal and West Ham.
Yeah.
Now, I try to get creative with this one, right?
What'd
I
you
went
do?
through and I started looking at the history, and I'm
Yeah.
going, well, maybe West Ham have pulled some results lately. The answer to that is no, they haven't. So I feel like it's going to be like a 1-0,
Yeah,
maybe a 2-1.
Well, look, West Ham did beat them. Oh, that's a shame.
Hey, that lasted longer than last week. Okay?
Look, West Ham did beat them 2 years ago, sorry, 2-0 at home. But other than that, it's been pretty much Arsenal.
Yeah.
So I've gone Arsenal.
Then we got Fulham and Palace. Now,
This one, very interested in how this one goes.
yeah, look, to be fair, this could be any result.
Anything.
It could be Fulham win,
Anything.
it could be Palace win, it
Yep.
could be a draw.
Yep.
I didn't know. I've gone Palace, and
Yep.
the only reason I've gone Palace is because I think Matete's form is too good.
Okay, I've gone draw.
Thank
I
you.
had Fulham, and I thought, now Palace played pretty well against Everton. Mm-hmm. I'm going to split it down the middle.
Yep.
Again, like we just said, Fulham, I can't pick them.
Fair
Literally
call.
can't pick them, so I'm just going to fuck it. I'll go down
Fair
the middle.
call. Then we've got Villa and Chelsea. Now, I'll let you go first on this one.
Look, I'm sticking with Chelsea, not confidently, but I think Aston Villa playing today might be a reason why Chelsea can win. And we do have a pretty good record against them.
I've gone draw.
That's a very good option.
And
That's,
I've
that's
just
a
gone
smarter option.
3 in a row.
That's
right?
a smarter option. That's thinking with your head, where I thought with my heart.
Yeah.
So that's a better option. But I'm going to stick with Chelsea and just pray that they finally do something.
Then we've got Newcastle Forest.
Two teams that are high up in the table, but not playing consistently well at the moment.
No.
So,
And
so I've gone draw.
I've also gone draw.
Yeah, I couldn't say who's the better team. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Ishak out of form. Well, I say out of form. It's a harsh.
Compared to what we're
Yeah,
used
that's
to.
what I mean. He was banging in goals, looking like he was going to compete for the Golden Boot, and then last 3 games, it's kind of where you been.
Fizzled.
Yeah,
He's fizzled. Yeah.
He's fizzled out. He's probably not getting the service he needs.
Yep.
And then,
there
and he's gone. Then we've got City and Liverpool. Probably the game of the round. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Easily game of the round.
Obviously, we've known how I've gone. I've
Yep.
gone Liverpool, as
And-
I've done all season.
And I've gone the same way that you went with Chelsea. I've gone draw.
Yeah.
I think that both teams playing today are going to be hindered, but I think Gakpo will be back, and I think Haaland will be back. So
Well, look, that's obviously the question. Is Haaland out because of injury? Because he obviously had that call where they thought he'd ruptured his ACL
yes,
in the game.
Yes.
And I think they're trying to cover up to see what he is. Marmoush in form. I just don't know how he's going to deal with Van Dijk.
Yep.
I think he'll have to
two different players.
Oh, it's a massive
so
beast, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to get as many opportunities. You're not going to beat him by rolling your shoulder.
Correct,
The
yeah.
tap-ins are going to be a lot more difficult. You're not going to get them, essentially. So, look, interesting to see, but, with our lack of form, I say that, obviously we're still putting results.
Yes.
But we're not doing what we
But
did.
you're not winning games like you were before. So, like,
No.
your statement is correct. Your form has dipped, but just like you said, you're still getting a result.
No, yeah. And then, look, before we sign off, let's run through our fantasy. And look, I'll jump in first.
Yep.
So, look, got 96 points this week. So I used my free hit to kind of put it in. Now, my strategy for this week was to, put in as much double playing teams as possible.
Villa and Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I went Rodgers and Rashford, and I thought, one, they were going to do something against Ipswich.
Yes.
I get an assist from Rashford. But
the free kick off the post. Yeah.
but,
We'll count it as an assist.
Rodgers gets me 2 points in both games.
Yes.
I didn't do anything for
Which
me.
is frustrating because, bro, he played well in both games. He just can't score or assist.
Yeah, he didn't get the points that I wanted.
Yeah.
And then we've got, I had Allison. I put Allison in goals. And I think, look, if you have Allison in your team, I'd be taking him out.
Yeah.
Because I think we are leaking goals from the back.
Correct.
He's not making as many saves as he used to make.
Yes.
But look, I got 4 points out of him across the 2 games. I did put in Gabriel, and that really worked out for me. I thought they'll keep a clean sheet this week. They did. I was hoping he would be a 1-0 win with a Gabriel goal. That's what I was praying
I put money
for.
on that and didn't come through.
No, not at all. I get Alexander-Arnold. He got 13 points across the 2 games. Kind of worthwhile to have that. Obviously, he got his goal and he got an assist. Kirkes with only 2. Clivert got 5. He got one of the
You got an
assists.
assist, yep.
He got one of the assists. Obviously, captain Mohamed Salah.
I think the
got
whole
40
world
points.
captain Salah.
I think everyone captains him every week now.
Yeah, you have to.
I don't think anyone
No,
doesn't.
you have to. Nobody's as consistent as Salah
No.
when it comes to scoring points.
And then, look, Cole Palmer, and again, this is the statement I'm making. I think it's time for him to come out of my team.
Yep.
He's been there. He's been there since week 1.
Yep.
I just think he's not getting the support he needs. As long as Nicholas Jackson's out of the team, I don't think that he's worthwhile having in the team for the cost that he is. Then obviously I had Rodgers and Rashford. Rashford get me 9.
Yep.
Ishak, again, maybe coming out of my team.
Yep.
Because I think he's too expensive for what I can get.
Yep.
And I think I may replace him with Beto. To be
Yeah,
honest.
that wouldn't be a bad move.
And then Chris Wood with 9.
Yep.
I made a good decision putting Chalobah on my bench with 1 point. But I think, look, this week I may either put in my manager, which I'm yet to use, the assistant manager, and I'm tossing up who I use, but I'll put that up if I do. It may go next week, or I may use my wild card.
Yep. So you got 24 hours.
Yeah.
Now-
You're on the clock.
Now, I only got 82 this week. Look, pretty stock standard for most of my players, but my big scorers were Gabriel, same as you. I captained Salah. I had Wood. And my second highest scorer was actually Mikel Arteta. I used my assistant manager.
Yeah.
He won. He got a couple goals. So I got 10 out of that. Salah was number 1 with 20, and then Arteta was 10. So look, I got 82 above average. Not bad. I dropped in all my leagues and shit, but yeah. And now for this week, I have already made my trade. So I had a Matt in my team. Obviously, he's done an ankle and he's had surgery. He's out for the season. So I've brought in Wanyeri
Okay.
from Arsenal. Now,
Yeah.
if Arsenal's going to score, so now I got him and I got Gabriel. If they're going to
Is he expensive?
No, it's like 4 point something.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
Wanyeri will be joining my team too this
He's
week.
4.6.
I can tell you that much.
Yeah, he's 4.6.
Yeah.
Right. So I've already made my trade this week. That's done. Look, I'm not expecting a lot of points this week. I don't really like my team, but the problem is I can't use my wild card because your assistant manager is for 3 weeks.
Oh.
So I'm stuck with Arteta for another 2 weeks. Now, I was
that's-
happy about that, but I thought, maybe I could do a wild card. Nope. So now I've got to wait until that's done before I can use my wild card.
Well, I mean, look, the positive is you should be doing pretty fine with Arteta this week.
I think Arteta this week will be fine. It's just the rest of my team.
They got
So-
West Ham, so you should get some points for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, look, I got Robinson, Kirkes, Gabriel. I think they're all at home against Palace, Wolves, and West Ham, not barn burners. I'm still going to captain Salah just because he will score against City. Look, I've got Palmer Rogers. I don't know if either of them are going to do anything. And Nwaneri, I'm hoping. And then I've still got Gakpo, Ishak, and Wood up front. But if Gakpo doesn't play, I'll go Jacob Murphy as my first sub in.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's a decent sub, especially Newcastle at home.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I put Beto on my team, I may take a stab at him being my captain.
Against Man U?
Yeah.
Not a bad shout.
Dude, because I don't... Who's going to deal with him?
Big Head Maguire. He ain't doing shit.
No, that's what I mean.
He's going to be dealing in fouls and pens and own goals.
What I mean. And when we're saying if you give them a free kick, they score off it. They did it to us. Fucking bastards. But look, until next week, we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Peace out, everyone.
Good pod. Thank you, everyone.